Hello, 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 and welcome, true art believers, to tonight's live art stream. This is Pierson here. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing fantastic. I am doing pretty good, and I just want to say that I am the number one live art streamer in the world, and you are watching 500 Days of Drawing. Today is day 485. I got some catching up to do, but that's okay. We'll catch up sometime this week if I have the option, and we're going to be doing some cactus drawings in the meantime. So let's begin, shall we? Shall we? Alrighty then, let's go. Let's rock it out. Those rock it one. Oh, gosh. Well, how are you doing? How are you doing? I am doing well, doing good. It's been a long day, as you can kind of surmise or gather, because I am doing a late night live stream, and I've been trying to avoid those, but I've been gone all day. Well, I haven't been gone all day, but I've been gone all day. Let's put it that way. Been gone all day. Like you ever? I mean, a lot of us, we're all like just work, 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 work. There's never a day that. Yeah, I just wish. There's like, don't you wish you had like just a day that you could just chillax or relax. I've been trying to find a like work life like balance, and it's been very difficult. I have yet to find that like work life balance, and what I've been trying to do to achieve that is one of the things I'm trying to avoid is doing late night live streams like today. I've been trying to avoid late night live streams, and normally I wouldn't do a late night live stream like on today, but because today it's my day off, like I'm off today, like I don't work tonight. I feel that I could actually do it, right? I decided that on these days I am able to at least do a live stream on this type of day, on a day like this. But if I was working and I didn't make my live stream, if I didn't make it make my live stream today, on a day that I was working, I wouldn't do it. I've been making new rules on how I pursue my live streams, and one of those rules is if I don't get my live stream done at a reasonable time during the day before 9 o'clock, I'm not going to do it, especially on days that I work. Now, on days that I have off, I will make an exception. So today I have off, so I'm making an exception for that. But it's been pretty hectic, man. I mean, been working on. Well, I think all of us, to some degree, have been doing like some sort of like side job, side gig to make ends meet, and some will do like Uber, some get another job, right? Some will have multiple jobs. Some will do like Grubhub or Uber, Grubhub, whatever. There's some other ones. There's some like DoorDash. I think it's DoorDash. Is it DoorDash? I don't know. And we've been doing that. A lot of people in America have been doing that. Like, it's been tight, man. Everyone's been like really, really. It's been really hard on everyone. I totally agree. Understand. And so, like, one of the things I've been doing to make a little bit of extra income has been eBay. I've been doing a lot of things on eBay lately, and I've been getting pretty heavy in it. And I could see that it could be a really good opportunity to make a lot of money, not just make ends meet or make extra cash, but to make a lot of money. So I've been spending my extra time on eBay. And so during the day when I'm not working, on every day actually, when I'm not, well, every day, not every day, I do things on eBay. I do business related things on eBay. So um, in the morning, I'm making drafts and posting items for to put for sale on eBay, and shipping out items, all that jazz, right? And that I only spend about 3 hours doing that, but that 3 hours actually takes me about 5 hours, because 2 to 2.5 to maybe 3 hours of that time I have to stop. Actually, I have to stop in between to be a dad. I got to take care of my daughter, right? So I've been spending a lot of my time outside of that to take care of my daughter, and it's hard to do both. Like, I've been watching a lot. There's this YouTuber called Daily Refinement, and he really opened my eyes to the ability to this idea that you can be an average person and make a pretty good. You could be very successful at being at selling on eBay. And he showed a system, and I've been applying that system, and it's been working. And I've been doing that on my free time. I've been hitting the eBay hard on my free time. Actually, not my free time. I've been treating it like a business. So like I actually clock in. I kind of clock in, right? Like I metaphorically clock in to my eBay, and I metaphorically work on my eBay. And so I do that all the while trying to take care of my daughter and spend time with her, and all the while trying to clean up the house whenever I get the chance. Today was a little bit different. I had some things I needed to do. Well, today was different. I wanted to go out and see some family, and so I went out to see some family. So like I circumvented what I normally would have done. Like, so I would have done my live stream around 7 or earlier, maybe even earlier if I had the opportunity, but I didn't have the opportunity. So where was I? I don't even know where I was. So after I did all my eBay stuff and all that kind of jazz and all that fun little stuff, I worked out. I visited family, and then after that, I worked out. And I don't know if you know this, but if you do your workout good, if you do a true workout, you feel it. I think a lot of us, we tend to like casually work out, where we just kind of do like like we never get uncomfortable. We never, like the average person does. They'll work out and they'll they'll get a little, they never get to a zone of being uncomfortable. They just do like lightweight. They don't want to feel any type of pain, like any type of like strain on the muscle, or any type of like anything that shows like fatigue, or it's just, I don't know. Like I never, a lot of people will not really hit. They'll build up a sweat, but like they're not putting in that heavy duty work, And I'm not like, that's okay. Like any movement is better than no movement, like with anything. So like any type of physical activity is better than no physical activity. But a lot of individuals will do physical activity expecting like certain type of results, and then they don't get the results that they're looking for, and they wonder why, my point is, you really, in order for you to really get results, you got to feel a little uncomfortable, and there's no way around it. You just got to be a little bit uncomfortable, and a lot of us, we just don't get uncomfortable. And I'm not pointing fingers. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It sucks. Like, so I did a workout, and it's not hard. Actually, it was hard. So it was a very hard workout. I do I kind of follow the Dorian Yates, Mike Mentzer method of lifting, where it's you only do one set, right? You only do one set of like one working set, and your workouts are done in like 30 minutes. That's really the only reason why I do those workouts, is because they're done. You are done in 30 minutes or less. And so I've been doing that type of workout. It's very hard. It's not easy. It's a very intense, very labor intense workout where you tax the muscle as much as you can in one set. And I mean that in the most literal way. Like you can't do any more reps after that set. Like you can, to some extent. Like I've been doing, like there's a caveat. You can drop the weight by like 50% and rep out a few more reps, but, and I'll do that occasionally, I will do that occasionally. And so that's the type of workout I'll do, is I'll do a heavy duty, high intensity workout. And it's not fun. I don't know. It has its moments. But like what I like about it is that you get done in around 30 minutes, and you reap the results. You reap as much or more results than a person who spends 2 hours at the gym, and it's just weird, because what you're doing is you're taxing the muscle, and that's all you want to do. Your focus in a gym is to tax the muscle and introduce a stimulus that it's not used to, and so that's what I do. Like and it's hard, man. Like I did a workout today, and I was done in like 45 minutes, and I'll tell you, man, I was shaking. I was shaking a little bit. That is a fact. I was shaking. My body was saying, "What did you do to me, bro? What did you do? This is not good. I feel this is what did you do, bro?" And it's like that. It's like what'd you do? And I'm like, you know what I did? I worked you out, bro. I worked out the body. And my body's like, don't do that ever again. Don't do that again, ever again. I'm like, guess what? I'm gonna be doing it in 2 days. And my body's saying, don't do that. Don't do it. So my body is literally shaking. My body's saying, what'd you do to me? That was the worst thing ever. I don't like that. And it's hard, man. Don't get me wrong. It's not a thing you want to do every day. That's why you do it. I only work out like once every other day. I don't work out 5 days a week. I'll work out 4 days, like 4 days in a, what is it? 4 days in like 8 days or something like that. I don't know. But I'll only work out. I work out very little compared to the average person, and the reason why is because it's so intense, man. It's super intense. It's not fun. It's very intense, and it's very fatiguing on the body, taxing on the body. Some people would say that it's actually dangerous, like you could injure yourself, and I would say you can injure yourself doing almost anything. Like there's a lot of like back and forth on this conversation on like, oh, you could injure yourself, and I think that there's some truth to that. You can injure yourself on a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily have to be it wouldn't have to necessarily be like from it wouldn't necessarily have to be from heavy duty or high intensity training. It could be from just working out. It could be from walking down the stairs. Some people like pull their leg muscle or tear their Achilles tendon going down the stairs. So like, yeah, you can injure yourself, and yeah, you can injure yourself doing something completely benign. Just completely that from doing nothing. Like you could literally be doing nothing and wholly injure yourself, right? And so I understand that you can that there is a chance to injuring yourself, but I also think that there is a utility in just there's a usefulness to kind of just being physically fit and testing your boundaries from time to time, you know. And that's what I like to do. Is I like to exercise because it's like there's a some science behind the release of endorphins is just a good thing overall, and and you just feel better. You feel like you've done something of like value. You feel like you've done something that will make you a tougher person, I guess. you know and yeah, like I think weightlifting to some extent makes you kind of a tougher person. you know I don't like that. And it makes you a stronger individual, because it's difficult. It's not fun. It's not fun testing your body like that. And I think a lot of people could benefit from testing their body, like just challenging themselves every once in a while. There's nothing wrong with it. I remember I would work out with some friends from time to time, and they would often take it very easy. And I'm not saying that to be mean or anything. They're like, oh, I don't want to injure myself. But they would take it to the point where it's almost like, why even bother going through the moments? It'd be very hard for you to injure yourself how light of a workout my friends were doing. You wouldn't be able to. It'd just be impossible. The amount of strain that they were putting on their body, which was zero strain, right? But I'd have friends and I'd work out with them, and they would do this total super lightweight and not challenging themselves at all, right? The only reason why I was challenging to them is because they never exercise, and any type of exercise was just difficult. But they weren't challenging themselves. What they were doing, what I was seeing in their body motions and their body language and their expressions is they were so doubtful in their potential and their abilities that they didn't even want to try to physically test themselves. They didn't want to test themselves at all. And that's the thing. When you're exercising, you are testing yourself. It's you versus you, right? Even if it doesn't have to be heavy weight. It could be a moderate to lightweight. All I say is, when you do something like that, go to failure. Go to the point where you can't rep out anymore, or one rep before failure. Really push it, literally. And people don't do that because I'm gonna be honest with you, it's uncomfortable, man. It's not fun. It's not always fun to get in that area. And I'm not even saying it's hard. It's not a hard thing to do. It's just people just don't want to be uncomfortable anymore. We're so used to just this level of comfort. And I'm saying test yourself out, push yourself a little bit. And so that's why I work out. I lift weights and exercise. And I'm not saying I'm like Larry Wheels or Eddie Hall or anything. Of course not. I would have to be juicing up, and that's their job. Their job is to be juiced up and freaking lift heavy weights. That's their job. They get paid to be meatheads, bro. And that's okay, man. Go ahead, be a meathead, because get money for it. Like, I'm not saying that in like a mean, offensive way. Like, that's just, it's what you are. Like, I guess you're a jacked up dude, man, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You're making a ton of money being a jacked up dude. I think it's so funny when people get mad if you point out what they are, like as like what they do as a business model. Like, listen, your job is to be muscular and jacked up, and sell supplements and stuff. Don't be mad that people point out your business model or what you do. You know, that's just what you do. You know, if that was my job, like, of course I'd be jacked up all the time on popping roids like it's going out of style and just being ripped. But it's not my job to be ripped and pop steroids like Pez, like it's a Pez dispenser, right? I don't even know what my job is. My job is just to kind of, I don't have a job. I don't have that kind of, that's not my job. But anyways, like, yeah, so I do the Mike Mentzer heavy duty lifting, Dorian Yates weightlifting type program, where you do one set and you hit it with all you got and you're done. A lot of like old school and new school bodybuilders will do what they're doing, but do multiple sets and multiple sets, like over and over again, like in my opinion, too many sets. Like, you can only kind of do that kind of stuff if you're on gear. Like, you can do it if you're not on gear, and you're like, you could do that if you're not on gear and you're like young, you know, if you're like 18 or like under 20 years old or under 30 years old, you can do that. But when you get older, man, and you try to do those workouts that are done by bodybuilders and powerlifters, it gets harder and harder. You'll notice that your day, you want to take longer and longer breaks, or the days between workouts get longer. Like, you take longer. You're just taking longer to do. I don't know. Like, you just spend more time recouping, and yeah. So I do the Mike Mentzer Dorian Yates style, man. It's you're in and out, and you can't feel bad if you miss your lift, because you're already pushing yourself very hard. And if you miss in a sense that you're unable to kind of perform the weight more effectively later on in the workouts, because you're starting to gas your body. You're getting really fatigued, and you're done in 30 to 40 minutes, man. And I really like that idea of being done in 30 to 40 minutes. It's an amazing feeling, being done with your workout in a short amount of time. I really can't like promote it enough. It's a really nice feeling being done in 35, 40 minutes and feeling like you worked out for 3 hours. Don't get me wrong, it's hard, and those 35, 40 minutes feel like torture. Feels awful, right? When you're doing it, it's not great, but afterwards you feel amazing. It's really a nice feeling. And it's working when after the workout, you're like, your body is kind of trembling, where like your central nervous is like saying to you, like, dude, what'd you do to me? Why'd you do that, bro? I'm like, I don't know why I did it. I just did it. But like, your body is saying to yourself, like, why'd you do such a thing? And it's true, man. Like, it really, it can be tough at times, like, because it's an intense workout, and I could say, like, it's not fun sometimes. It can be very, very fatiguing, very strenuous, and people will say that you can injure yourself, right? And I would agree with you to some extent. Like, you can injure yourself doing anything, but And they'll reference Dorian Yates, how he injured himself doing that heavy duty high intensity training. And I would say I would also say that, like, well, when he was doing all that high intensity weight, he was doing heavy weight like a couple weeks before he was going to be on stage on Mr. Olympia. And like, from what he stated, he was stating that he was so dehydrated because of how he was basically dehydrating himself in prep for the show, that dehydration is what made his body, his tendons, more brittle and more it was more opportunistic for him to injure himself, because he had such a low amount of water in his body. And that is what probably is the reason. That's probably the reason why he had the injuries that he sustained. You know, and they said the same thing about Ronnie Coleman. Well, I think he was just like, what, from my understanding, from what I heard, like, it was just bad luck on his behalf. Like, pure bad luck. Like, he got an inflamed spinal disc, and he injured, and it just went downhill from there. I don't think he had surgery after his that inflamed spinal disc was pinching a nerve, which was actually, from my understanding, from what I heard, and from the pictures that I saw when he was from his show, like, it was causing deterioration of muscle on one side of his lat. I could be wrong. I'm not the expert at this. I just, from what I remember back and hearing about it and his conversations about it, that was what kind of happened. And he then got surgery. The surgery didn't take, and then he just had a series of bad surgeries. And these surgeons, man, I don't know, man, like, back surgeons, like, he just had a series of bad surgeries from surgeons that should have known better, and they just, like, demolished his back. They just demolished it, man. They demolished it, and they should have done better. They didn't do him well. They did him a disservice, because they basically ruined his back. You know, he had one bad surgery, and then in order to fix the surgery, the poor bad surgery, he went and got more surgery, and each one of those preceding surgeries made it worse and worse and worse, and, like, literally made it worse and worse. And it was so, like, I don't know what happened. Like, it wasn't, I don't know if it was the lifting that was the lifting was the cause, but it's probably wasn't the main reason why he is in the predicament that he's in now. It was probably the botched surgeries that he had, one after the other, that just made his situation worse and worse. And so some people will say that his heavy duty training was the cause of his weightlifting or his injuries. And I don't know, man. Like, if you look at, like, bodybuilders like Tom Platz, that guy did equally as tough squats as Ronnie. Maybe not as heavy, but like as intense. He probably did equally as intense workouts as Ronnie Coleman, but he's not, like, bed bound. I think he just had bad luck with his surgery. Like it just totally ruined him. Like it was just a bad series of unfortunate events that led to the predicament that he's in now. And I would be furious at the back surgeons that I was working with. I would be furious. I would probably be suing them if I was them. I'm like, you ruined me. Like, I can no longer walk. You totally ruined it. Like he had so many back surgeries that he had to end up getting back surgery. He had to, all back surgeries had to be done from the stomach from front to back. So he had to do all his surgeries from the front to back because they were so bad. And so they just did a bad job. Like what they did to him, what those doctors did to him just is unacceptable. They need to be held accountable, and they need to they need to say, guess what? I messed up. But some of these surgeons won't say that. They can't, because if they said they messed up, they can open up the potential of being sued, right? But dude, the guy had 8 surgeries. Each one, they weren't getting better. They weren't doing a better job. When are you going to say, none of this is working? It's like they treated him like an experiment. Let's see if what we can do. Let's test out new procedures on a guy who has an exorbitant amount of muscle mass. And they just totally, oh man, I get so furious over that. I really think that they did him a disservice, and it wasn't just the weightlifting; it was the botched surgeries that really just went downhill. They should have cut their losses and said, you know what, listen, Ronnie, I don't think surgery is the way to go anymore. I think mitigating risk and mitigating further problems should have been the way to go about it. But they decided to keep pushing the surgeries, and now the dude who used to be able to squat 800 pounds, no biggie, like it was 145, can't even walk anymore. And people are gonna go on saying, oh, it was this crazy work ethic, crazy weightlifting. Heck, man, there's a lot of powerlifters out there right now that lift way more than him. Why aren't they bed bound? I think it was the surgeries that just propelled everything and made everything worse. And so that's my opinion. I could be wrong, and I'm not. That's how I feel. I think it should have been. He should have. I think he was dealt a bad hand, and I think the doctors that worked on him should be held accountable and should do they should be held accountable. They should. I don't know. They need to admit that they were at fault, and perhaps he already maybe even won a lawsuit. I don't know his predicament, but maybe he won a lawsuit. Maybe he filed a lawsuit against some of these doctors. I would have, if I kept going by their advice. Listen, they told me that I needed to do this, and I did this, and all of a sudden I'm doing this, and now I can't walk. Right? I would be I heeded their advice, and they gave me this advice, and now look at me, right? I'm in crutches, right? And I would do something about that. That's me. I would personally, I think that that's something that I would be considering. if I was him, you know. And but yeah, it's just it just sucks, man. I just wish that like he got dealt a bad hand, and I don't know if it was his like I don't know if it was his high intensity weightlifting that did it, or if it was like the the botched surgeries. I think it was the surgeries that did it. There we go. But I think it was the surgeries that that caused him to be in the position that he's in, not necessarily the workouts. I do think though that the workouts didn't help. Like the training didn't help. He definitely lifted very heavily. I'm not going to disagree with that. But there's also people like Hathorn, Bjorn Thorns, Hawthorne. Is it like Thor something? And then you have Eddie Hall. They're both lifting equally as heavy weight as that guy. Why aren't they paralyzed? Right? He just got dealt a very terrible hand. In his weightlifting bodybuilding career, man, and it just sucks that was the case. You know, it really does suck. This is actually taking me a lot longer than normal because I don't know. I'm talking a little bit more. It's slowing me down. Blah blah blah. But yeah. So all I can say is that if you just start exercising a little bit, challenge yourself, right? Weightlift, hit those weights. And you got to challenge yourself. You can't like a good rule of thumb is when you're first starting out with weightlifting is the last 2 reps are like you're barely eking them out. Like they gotta be the last 2 reps are very challenging. Like they're very difficult to accomplish, right? So like you do reps 1 through 8 with a moderate amount of challenge, and then those like 9 and 10, you're really slowing down because it's taken a lot of physical strength and mental and physical strength to really rep them out. And so that's what I would suggest. Actually, I don't even know if that's what I would suggest. I don't even know if that's like the scientific thing to do, but like it's just something that I've done, and I've often read or heard from other people. Another person, Mike Mentzer, would state that the last rep is the one that really actually counts. So he surmised that the last rep is the one that does all the work. So meaning that like all those other reps were prep towards your final rep, your last rep. So like when you do those, you do like your reps 1 through 9 are challenging, but that 10th one is the one you're like really digging deep. You're digging in, you're digging your heels in the ground to push that rep out. That one, that in his opinion, what he stated was what ignites the physical adaptation phase of growth in your muscle, because that is the one that is challenging enough that your body has to create a physical change to circumvent the possibility that you have to do that again. So what weightlifting and bodybuilding it really is your body saying, I don't like the fact that I can't lift that weight. And in response, and it's your body's response to saying, I don't like the fact that I can't lift that weight. I need to be able to lift that weight just in case I don't know. I don't know the reason. The body doesn't know why you're doing that weight, lifting that weight. The body just responds to that stimulus by building muscle, so that if there's a chance that or time or chance that you actually have to lift the weight like that again, it won't have to be under another taxing situation where it stresses itself out. So it should be able to lift that weight easier. And that's what it's trying to do, is it's trying to adapt to the stimulus, you know. And Dorian Yates kind of said it this way, like when you rub sandpaper on your skin and you scrape it up a bit, and then you wait a couple weeks, and then you look at the area that you rub sandpaper on, you find that you got more like a callus, or the skin around the area is harder, it's more calloused. That's an adaptation to the stimulus, so that you don't, to help prevent that potential thing to happen again. So like now that your skin's more built up, more tough and rougher, it should not have that happen again. But usually it will happen again. That depends if you're like taking a piece of sandpaper, rubbing your hand together with it all day long. But like really, that's what it is. The last rep is what really matters, according to Mike Mentzer and probably even Dorian Yates. I'm not putting words in his mouth. I know Mike Mentzer stated that as what he thought was the cause, or one of the things that ignites muscle growth, is that last rep. It's not all the reps before it. It's that rep that you really have to like dig your heels in. And maybe you can make the argument that like the last 2 reps would be what you're looking for, because sometimes you can squeeze out 2 extremely hard reps, like difficult ones, where like they're like you can finish one, and then if you really go deep and you finish that second one, you're gassed. You are huffing and puffing and you're breathing really hard. All right, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm an idiot. All right, well, see, I think let's see here. Let's get my brush here. I think I'm done. I'm going to put my signature here. I don't know. What I typically do is I use my the eyedrop tool to find the color here. And so it's this area right here is this color. Well, we have orange here. So I'm going to do like a yellow. We'll do a yellowish, a bright yellow. Just sign right here. And then that would be it. So I'm going to zoom in real quick right here. Sign it. Usually do it like 8 pixels. Go T M P like this, and then 22. Let's see. What am I doing? This is number 170. My 170th Cactus, and it is day 485. So I guess the subject for today's conversation, or today's live stream, is just exercise and challenge yourself. I think what weightlifting for me has really, what weightlifting has done for me is it's kind of really opened up my sense of self. Like it gives you confidence, even though like we're not in the sense that like, oh, I'm like doing world record weights here, but like confidence in yourself. Because if you're challenging yourself each day, you know, there's something to be said about really challenging yourself. And weightlifting and exercising is a good outlet for doing some sort of like self challenge or like self competition. And I really would suggest trying it out. And if you're looking to like weightlift, I would definitely think about looking up Dorian Yates or Mike Mentzer. Mike Mentzer's heavy duty workout. I don't like Mike Mentzer's later workouts where he suggests longer and longer breaks between each workouts. Like he would suggest with his clients working out his workout breaks between workouts would be as long as 7 days to some people, like 7 to 10 days, or like between each workout. So you're only working out like 3 days a month. And I tried that. It worked. It worked in the it worked for the short term, but later on it got hard. Like I start to feel diminishing returns, because like as the workouts got farther apart, like I got less accustomed to working out. Like I wasn't really used to lifting the weight and used to the movements. And I think working out more frequently was better, because you're exposing yourself to those movements more, and you have a better idea of how to do those exercises, and you get more experience. When you're doing them farther and farther apart, you don't get that experience. Anyways, that's it for the day. This is my Cactus. It took me a little while. It took me about 16 minutes longer than normal. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I got to get going. It's been late night for me, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching. And I hope and wish for you to subscribe. It really means a lot to me. And there's some benefits to that, because you get notified when I have art giveaways. And I've been meaning to do another art giveaway. I just been so hectic working on my eBay business that I haven't been able to sit down and set up another art giveaway. And I want to do at least one by another one next month, and maybe 2 for next month as well. So I got a few paintings that I need to get ready for my next art giveaway. So I just want to say thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Cheers. This is Pierson. Thank you so much. Cheers.